Hey friends, welcome back to the show. Today we are getting back to talking about Enneagram types again. And today's topic is about Enneagram Type 5, which is often called the Investigator. If you've ever met someone who loves to dig deep into topics, who seems to have a wealth of knowledge about everything from how a watch works to the mysteries of the universe, or if you are that someone, then this episode is for you. And if you are not a Type 5, don't worry. This will still be a meaningful journey to better understand and connect with the 5s in your life.
Welcome to the Grace-Filled Leader Podcast. Do you want better work-life balance? Do you get stuck in patterns of perfectionism and people-pleasing? Have you always been an overachiever but never really felt good enough, no matter how much outward success you achieve? Do you want more time for the things that matter most? Well, you are in the right place. Here on the Grace-Filled Leader Podcast, we focus on spirit-driven success and share the secrets to having better work-life balance as a busy woman in leadership. Here you will learn how to set boundaries like a boss, find peace of mind, and reclaim your time for the things that matter most. Hi, I'm Tanya, a wife, mom, leader, and certified Christian life coach. For most of my life, I tried to find worthiness through achievement. I spent decades people-pleasing and pouring myself into my work. I was looking for my value through the approval of others. This led me to feel burned out, empty, and exhausted. I had no time or energy for myself or my family. I realized that I was wasting time and energy looking for validation in all the wrong places. But my life changed when I finally surrendered and God showed me a different way. It is my mission to help you start living the abundant life God has for you. If you're ready to become fueled by grace and find freedom from people-pleasing, if you're ready to multiply your time and impact as a Christian woman in leadership, this podcast is for you. Roll up your sleeves, sister friends. It's time to get after it.
Whether you're a wife, a mom, a professional, or a leader, or all of the above, understanding how God uniquely designed you and those around you can transform your relationships, your leadership, and your faith journey. The Type 5s in your life, or even within yourself, reflect God's depth, wisdom, and ability to pursue truth in ways that bless others. So let's explore that. Let's talk about the key characteristics of the Enneagram Type 5, the Investigator. They are naturally curious and deeply analytical. They are knowledge-driven and seek to understand the world around them. They value their independence and their personal space. And they tend to be private and measured in expressing emotions. So I'm sure some of you can picture someone in your life, if that's not you, that exemplifies a Type 5. The core motivation of the Type 5 is the desire to feel capable, competent, and equipped. They seek knowledge as a way to gain security and confidence. Their core fear is the fear of being helpless, useless, or overwhelmed. They worry about being depleted, whether that's emotionally, mentally, or physically. The core weakness or vice of a Type 5 tends to be avarice, or a tendency to withhold time, energy, and resources out of fear of running out or being depleted. On the other hand, the core virtue or gift of Type 5s is their generosity, their ability to give freely of their knowledge, their resources, and their presence without fear of losing themselves in the process. And that would exemplify a healthy Type 5. So at their core, Type 5s remind us of God's infinite wisdom and His invitation to seek Him as the source of all truth. Their ability to research, analyze, and find solutions is a gift that can bring clarity and hope to the world around them. So what does it look like to live as an Enneagram Type 5? Well, some of their strengths are that they have inquisitive minds that excel in problem solving. They have a gift for understanding complex topics and breaking them down for others to understand. They're loyal and dependable once trust has been established, and they often bring a calming, grounded presence in the face of uncertainty. Now, some of the challenges they may face are the tendency to retreat or isolate when they're feeling overwhelmed. They may struggle to balance their internal world with their external demands. And they may have difficulty expressing emotions, which can lead to being perceived as distant or detached. Now, if we look into the realm of leading as an Enneagram Type 5, some of the strengths in leadership that they exemplify are that they're strategic thinkers who approach problems with logic and precision. They're excellent planners and they anticipate obstacles and prepare for them. They're calm and collected under pressure, bringing stability to their teams. And they are often knowledgeable leaders who thrive in specialized roles or industries. Some potential blind spots when it comes to leadership as a Type 5 is that they may overanalyze and delay decision making. They may have the risk of withdrawing from the team in order to protect and preserve their own energy, and they can struggle with delegating tasks, believing that they need to know everything themselves. So some tips for growth for the Type 5s, whether that's you or someone in your life, is to anchor themselves in God's provision. Remind yourself that God's strength is made perfect in your weakness. Reference 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. You do not have to have all the answers. Another tip for growth, which can be challenging, is to step more into community. Lean into relationships, even when it feels uncomfortable. God created us as relational human beings to grow in connection with others. And finally, practice generosity. Share your time, your expertise, and your energy without the fear of depletion. Trust that God will sustain you as you pour into others. As leaders, Type 5s shine when they combine their depth of knowledge with a willingness to engage with other people. Their insight and stability can inspire confidence in those they lead. So let's kind of paint a picture of a real life example of a Type 5 in action. Let's call her Rachel. Rachel is a healthcare administrator and a textbook Type 5. She loves her work because it allows her to dig into complex systems, identify inefficiencies, and implement solutions that improve patient care. Her colleagues describe her as the brain of the operation, often calling on her to troubleshoot and analyze challenging situations. In her personal life, Rachel treasures quiet evenings with a good book or a deep dive documentary. She needs downtime to recharge after a long day of solving problems and pouring into others. Rachel's leadership style reflects her strengths as a Type 5. She's a strategic thinker who anticipates challenges before they arise, and her calm demeanor inspires confidence in her team. However, Rachel sometimes struggles to delegate tasks because she feels she needs to know it all before handing anything off. She's learning to trust her team more, recognizing that her role is to equip them, not to do everything herself. By leaning on God's provision, Rachel has found freedom in knowing that she doesn't have to have all the answers because He does. Rachel reminds us that leadership doesn't always look flashy or loud. Sometimes it's the quiet, steady presence of someone who approaches challenges with wisdom, curiosity, and a calm heart that makes the biggest difference. Her journey as a Type 5 shows the power of trusting God to multiply our efforts when we step out of isolation and into community. So, what are some key takeaways for you as professional women? Number 1, recognize your value in Christ. Your worth is not in how much you know or how self-sufficient you are, but in being a beloved child of God. Number 2, celebrate your strengths. Your curiosity and analytical mind are gifts. Use them to solve problems, bless others, and bring order to chaos. And finally, practice presence. Sometimes the most meaningful thing you can give is your presence, your full attention, and your willingness to connect with others on a deeper level. Maybe this week you want to take time to journal about where you feel God is calling you to step out of your comfort zone. Where are you withholding energy or resources out of fear? How can you trust Him more in those areas? I challenge you to find one way to share your knowledge or expertise to bless someone else this week. Whether it's mentoring a colleague, helping a friend with a project, or just listening to someone who needs your insight, step into that opportunity with confidence. As always, I'd love to hear how this episode resonated with you. Are you a 5 or do you lead alongside one? Let's talk about it. Come over to the Facebook group and share your thoughts or your questions. And as we wrap up today, remember this. God has made you fearfully and wonderfully, and that includes the brilliant mind and thoughtful heart of you, the Enneagram Type 5. Lean into who He created you to be and trust Him to use your gifts for His glory. Until next time, my friends, I pray that the Lord fills you with gratitude, peace, and His amazing grace.
I pray this episode blessed you, spoke to you, or encouraged you in some way. If so, please share it with a friend and head on over to Apple Podcasts to leave me a review. That's the only way for me to know if you're enjoying the show. Nothing blesses me more than to hear from you. Also, come on over to our free Facebook community. This is a great place for us to support one another on our faith and leadership journeys. You can find the link to the group in the show notes or go to gracefilledleader.com/community. If you have questions or content ideas for the show, please send me a message on SpeakPipe or via email. Go to gracefilledleader.com/contact and leave a written or voice recorded message. I would love to know how I can best serve you on the podcast. Now to Him who can do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine, according to His power that is at work within us. Ephesians 3, verse 20. Until next time, my friends, God bless.